Hello, everyone. So, welcome to my first episode of the new edition of the God of Freedom show. This is going to be a temporary edition. We're going to talk about, give updates on the coronavirus stuff, or just talk about random stuff. I go over like maybe some scripture, or just talk about maybe movies, books, TV shows, or whatnot. Just whatever. It's going to be very informal. My name is Sean Clinton, and this is the God of Freedom show, Quarantine Edition. Alrighty, so yeah. So like I said, this is going to be a very informal type of show. I mean, it's going to be, basically what happened is that if you watched my show last week, it basically, I've been, my place where I work at has been staying open for a while, but, so happened to be on that very Friday is that, Gwinnett County issued a stay-at-home order. So basically, they're basically all non-essential businesses are being closed down for the next couple weeks or so. But what's thankfully for my work, we are considered essential business. But for the time being, for the next 2 weeks, the warehouse is being closed down just for precautionary terms to keep people, healthy for the next 2 weeks or so. So that's all good, and thankfully my company is they're actually still paying employees a full 40-hour week for the next 2 weeks, which that's good. I mean, I was kind of worried about that, but definitely they got that taken care of. I mean, my company is a really good company where I work at. They take care of all their employees. So yeah, I mean, the show is not going to be structured or in any special way, I guess. I mean, I may think of things to talk about before I air the show, but other than that, it's not going to be structured like my normal weekly show. So it's just going to be me talking nonsense or just whatever. So basically what the show is basically, it's going to be about 2 weeks long, just as long as I work right now. And it's gonna be actually from Monday to about Thursday, I think, because on Fridays I do my normal weekly show where that's the structured one, the longer one, and everything. This show is gonna be only about 15-20 minutes long, so not very long at all. And yeah, I mean, again, it's going to be very informal too. You may see me with a cup of coffee or water or whatever, or maybe at some point even a cigar. I mean, we'll see how it goes and everything. So, to start off with, I guess, kind of give updates of what's exactly going on with the coronavirus stuff. So, as of recently, last night, I think, yesterday at some point, President Trump basically issued that he is extending the social distancing guidelines until April 30th, which is definitely going to extend a lot of the lockdowns even further. In a lot of ways, a lot of the non-essential businesses are going to be definitely closed down longer for 30 weeks, or, I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, we're starting to see some smaller businesses definitely, open back up. That's kind of a trial. There's actually a local restaurant near me where they're trying to, they're going to open one of their restaurants to kind of see how it goes, I guess what their business is like, and maybe tactics they can do to have people come in, but keep them safe and distance from each other. There's a few families or groups at a time. Some have one family in one table, and they have them away from another. Something like that, I guess. But we shall see. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how this all goes and everything. It's crazy stuff. Seriously, I never thought this would actually get this bad. I mean, honestly, in terms my thoughts, in terms of my thought on the severity of the virus, is still the same as it's always been. I think it's not as, it's, in many ways, it is like the flu. In many ways, I mean, in terms of spread, it spreads a lot faster than the flu. But in terms of severity, it is the flu. Like, I mean, it's like the flu in many ways. Like, actually, I think the flu has more symptoms than the coronavirus. And just like what the coronavirus and flu had in common too, is that definitely people who have weakened immune symptoms, people who are older, are still very at risk with both the flu and the coronavirus. So, I mean, that's why you see older people get the flu and they get pneumonia or something like that. So, I mean, it is very similar. Like, people were saying, like, oh, it's not similar at all. The coronavirus is 10 times deadlier or something like that. Just from the death the fatality rate we're seeing, it doesn't seem to be the case. Well, the fatality rate was at about 3% here in America, at least. And then as more testing was done, more numbers came out. Obviously, the fatality rate kept going down and down. It's like 0. Actually, I don't know. I think it's at maybe 1% right now. Actually, I mean that's significantly lower than it was before, and I imagine as more testing is done, is going to continue to drop, because again, the vast majority of people who will get this will have probably mild symptoms, and plus the majority of people won't even get it too. So, I mean, and I guess what they say is true. I mean, I guess at some point everybody would get it, but it doesn't mean everybody get it in this short time frame. Eventually, just like with the flu, eventually you will get the flu at some point in your life. I've had it too. It sucks, but I mean, I imagine that the coronavirus is going to become like another like winter type illness, like with the cold and flu and other illnesses that happen during the winter time. So we're just gonna, I think, lucky for human beings, we're adaptable. We adapt easily to different circumstances. So I imagine we're gonna adapt just fine with the coronavirus being part of our lives. It's not gonna magically go away or anything. It's just gonna be always here, but we're just gonna easily adapt to it, everything. Just we'll see how it goes. But on a kind of a good news part, so on like kind of a good news for this whole thing, so there's this whole I've talked about this before, but there's a certain kind of medicine that's being used to treat patients and everything. It's called, I can't remember the name. Hold on one second. I might not even be able to pronounce it right, but it's basically called hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin, tromsin. I goodness, yeah, yeah. So basically, what we've seen is from different studies and trials is that this particular mix right here has been working significantly. There's actually an article I saw earlier on Twitter. Let me see, pull it up quick. It's from techstartups.com. It's a guy named Dr. Vladimir Salenko. He's treated 699 patients with this medicine right here, and has worked. It has a 100% success rate. So it's definitely helping people out. And on the good news part of it is that FDA has approved this drug, and it's now being administered all over the country. So that will definitely help slow down the not really slow down the spread, but will definitely help people like recover faster and help slow down the deaths and everything. So that would be great. It's definitely working even on the most at-risk patients. There was a 103-year-old woman I forget where. I think it's in China, I believe. Somewhere, not in America, but somewhere else. Basically, she was treated with this particular mix of medicine right here, and she recovered. So, and thankfully, I mean, the chances of like people, even the most at-risk people, dying from it is still pretty low. It is higher than most people, but it's still pretty low. So, it is still likely that most people will still recover, even if they are at risk. So, and thankfully, a lot of the heavy resources are going to the people who are most at risk. So that's how it should be for the most part. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much right there. But yeah, that's good news. And I'm sorry. That's what I'm gonna continue to do for this daily show right here. Is basically like get the positive updates for the coronavirus, not really the negative ones, but really the positive, like the recovery rates or treatment updates or whatever. So, because there's so much negative news, especially with the media, you're not reporting the good stuff about what's happening with this thing. So, I feel like it's important on my part to actually report and bring y'all the good stuff that's coming out of it, like the good news and everything. And so, yes, I mean, this whole time, like, this time is so strange right here. I mean, it's definitely, again, I've never seen anything like this. People who I know have never seen anything like this. It's definitely a unique time frame. But I do have faith in God that He will get us through this and everything. What's been so amazing to see is just about the faith of the believers around the world due to this. Like, just eventually, like, with churches are not being forced to close down, but they are the buildings are kind of closing down for the time being. But most churches are doing like an online services or whatnot. And that's what my church is doing, and it's so cool. There's like many people, like thousands of views to these services and everything. So I mean, it's a lot of good stuff is coming from this. And like my pastor said, this past Sunday, is that the past 2 Sundays, he actually thinks that when this is over, there's going to be a massive revival during this, and I really hope that's true. I hope and pray that's true. But what's going to be so amazing is that first Sunday where everybody's back, that's going to be an amazing and packed Sunday. I can't wait to see how that goes. But yeah, we shall see what happens. I mean, it's a very uncertain time right now. Very, very uncertain. Like, it's a lot of, we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple weeks. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or the next few minutes or so. So, I mean, honestly, at this point, anything can happen. But, I mean, to kind of end it off right here, I do want to kind of read a couple passages from Psalms to kind of, as an encouragement for y'all. So, this first part is from Psalms 18, 1 through 3, verses 1 through 3, and here is what that says. I love you, Lord. You are my strength. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my Savior. My God is my rock, in whom I find protection. He is my shield, the power that saves me, and my place of safety. I called on the Lord, who is worthy of praise, and He saved me from my enemies. And basically what this is right here is basically saying that God is basically, He's your protection during this. So, I mean, there's a lot of fears going around. A lot of people fearing that they'll die from this virus or whatnot. But thankfully we have a God that can be that protection, can be that place of safety and like comfort for everybody. And when you're fearful, like he is there to comfort you and make you bring some peace to your life. And to kind of end off right here, here's another passage from Psalms, and this is actually, a lot of people should know this too. This is Psalms 23 verses 1 through 6. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Especially, it's kind of the same message in many ways. Basically, like, God is your protection, and okay, so my camera does something weird right there again too. But to kind of finish off right there, where was I at? Basically, there's a famous saying that goes around for Christians. One that definitely at my church. Basically, instead of telling God how big your problems are, tell your problems how big your God is. Like, he's bigger than all your problems, all your worries, and everything. So that's why you should put all your comfort in him, even in times of uncertainty too. Alrighty. So I think that's all for this episode right here. For now. But so I'll be back here tomorrow with it. So yeah, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, take precautions and everything. But most importantly, trusting God that He will get you through this and get us through this, and pretty soon we'll see the backside of this. I have faith that we will see the backside of this sooner rather than later. But other than that, I'll see y'all tomorrow, and yep. This is the God and Freedom Show, Quarantine Edition. If you enjoyed this episode of the God and Freedom Show, hit that like button and follow the page to get more content. You can also find me on your favorite podcast listening sites like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Thank you for listening or watching.